But that ain't my story. I won't say sorry. No, you're destined for something higher. When it's all over, what you got to show for? Proving the devil is a liar. Rain against the window.
What's good, people? It's your boy Rhino. Welcome back to Rhino MGTV. We are live and alive. Oh, I need to change my background. That's not a good start, is it? We're live and alive. Make sure you like the video, people. Yeah? Like the video. Please subscribe. Please put post notifications on. This is Let's Talk the Real. I'm not sure who we got joining. Jamila should be here soon. So we'll give her some time to come back in. And Leon should be joining as well. A few of the other guys are on other shows, whatever. But we'll see. I've sent the link to a few people. We'll see who joins soon. But how are you guys feeling, man? How are you guys feeling? I want to know you guys' opinions. Have you been enjoying the shows? How's everyone feeling this Sunday? Make sure you please like the video, though. Like the video, and also subscribe and please put post notifications on. Big up Football 360. Yo, Ryan, I'm finna come on 1-2 shows. How can I? Are you talking about the football show? Or are you talking about Let's Talk the Real? Literally, just get in contact with me on Instagram or Twitter, and then we can talk, man. We can talk. And send me some content that you've done before as well, and we take it from there. Simple as that, man. I don't mind networking and working with people, you feel me? So it's all good. Big up Unruly as well. Big up, man. Says big up yourself, Ryan. No, I appreciate that. Big up you, Unruly, man. Make sure you're subscribed, you know. Make sure you lot are subscribed, post notifications on. Make sure you lot are liking the video. If you're watching this on Twitch, put your comments through. Also go through to YouTube, Rhino MGTV, like the video as well. And I think the people on Twitter as well do the same thing. Make sure you like the video. We got Jamila here. Camera's looking cloudy and that. What's going on with your camera?
On my camera, and I was laying down as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Big up Jamila in the building. Leon should be joining us soon. You guys leave your comments. Keep leaving your comments. We're going to talk about what are red flags, and what red flags do you normally see in like things like dating and relationships as well. So what are red flags when dating? You know, this is Let's Talk the Real, so we're always going to keep it real. You feel me? Yeah, man. Obviously, we did this show last week, Sunday. It was a very interesting panel, very interesting conversation as well. And that was more like the part one where we kind of thought, it was basically talking about has dating changed? Like, has online dating apps basically killed chivalry? Has it killed the romance? Has it killed romance? You know, everyone's just using these apps, swiping left, swiping right, DMs. Has that all killed the whole vibe of just, you know, going into like a club or a restaurant, should I say, or like a bar or something, and then meeting someone and talking to them? Has dating apps kind of killed the approach that a male will normally have towards a female? So that's what we spoke about last week. And then towards the end, we kind of got into a lot of interesting conversations. and then we started to kind of get into more of the red flag side and what is a good date, what is a bad date. And big up Dan as well. Let me send Dan the link and see if he will join. He might be busy, but I'm gonna send him the link right now because he has a few opinions. And me and him was actually having a discussion on WhatsApp because
Was you?
yeah.
Dan he's been dissing me still. He's tagged me in every single thing, like.
Is it? What's he saying? What's Dan been saying?
Because you know, like how we was talking about, like he was like, don't
The
Jamila might
KFC
put you in
argument.
her group chats.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the group chats. Oh yeah, we spoke about group chats as well. Yeah.
my update, this guy seems too good to be true.
Yeah,
You know
give
how
us the
someone.
update. Wait, let me give
Alright,
them
cool.
context. So people, basically, obviously, Jamila was basically talking last week. She was saying that how she's due to go on a date. I think it was Wednesday. So obviously, we had the show last week, Sunday. Jamila was due to go on a date on Wednesday. So we had a whole debate around how comfortable she is. And even Jay, big up Jay as well. She was talking about the fact that she feels like you learn more from a person when you see them in real life, and opposed to seeing them on via like social media and whatever. So we had a whole conversation with that, and we told Jamila, look, how are you feeling? And she had a whole different perspective. She said, look, she's had a friend that's been successful with the online dating thing. She's given it a try, and it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Jamila. So now she's had the date now. Now she's going to share her experiences live with you guys. Let me get through these comments quickly. Strawberry Milk says feminism has killed dating. I'm going to star your comment and we're going to talk more about that. And I want you to kind of build more into, give us more of a developed analysis, like of why you think feminism has killed dating. Break it down into detail for us. And big up Nacho, big up Rhino on the panel, big up Yeka. I remember you on the show yesterday as well. Big up, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Jamila, what's going on now? How did the date go? Because we told you, look, you never know, and that someone could come across a certain way. They could be sending money. They could be looking good. You've done the FaceTime thing, but in person, is it the same? Let me bring my camera down. So what? How did it go?
You know, when people downplay like that they're less bait than they are.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
That's a downfall for me, because you might as well just came straight forward and said, "Raw, I know so and so. I know so and so." It would have been easier. So he definitely is not what he seems.
Okay, in a positive or negative way?
In a positive, I don't know if it's a negative, but positive. No, it is negative, because why would you lie and downplay who you are?
Okay, so he's more of a known person than he said he was, basically.
Yeah, so that's giving me red flags already. Because now you're showing me that you're not honest.
Yeah.
Was he was definitely better in conversation in real life. We didn't have threats about like the bill. I even got to the point where I felt like I don't ever say, should I pay or should I help pay? But I was comfortable enough to say, "Rod, do you want me to chip in?" Do you understand?
Oh, okay.
So it was that, and he was actually a nice person, but we've had red flags already. Because remember, I told you on the app, I've been talking to not just one person on the app. So he was like, "Now you can delete the app." I don't know you like that.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So there's a bit of entitlement there, yeah?
So I don't know you like that for you to be telling me to delete the app.
Delete the app. That's crazy. That's mad.
And then, like, the other day, I was doing something for my daughter, and he was like, "Bro, I need your attention when I'm talking to you." So that already gave me 2 major red flags.
Damn.
Like,
Yeah.
That's just giving me, like, and I had to explain the other day to him, when you have a child, regardless of what, everything goes out the window. I'd rather be lonely than anyone feel like they can come here and dictate to me when I should talk to my child and when not to. He was like, "Oh, he don't mean it like that." But I feel like, I don't know if it's a thing, but my friend was saying it culture-wise, Africans are more dominant.
Yeah. To a degree, yeah, definitely. Especially the ones that are kind of more in that culture, 100%, yeah. To a degree.
So I don't know if it was a thing where he didn't understand what he was doing, but when I explained it, he got it. But I shouldn't, I feel like as a mum, I shouldn't have to explain. If someone says you have a child, just if you're getting upset about phone calls and not having time, later on you're gonna definitely be pissed when I'm rearranging or like I don't have childcare. Like, so I was looking at it, but conversation was nice. He's a nice person, but yeah, there's a lot
Hey,
of hey, there's a
what
lot
Jay
of
got going?
there was a lot of like I don't I'm a person that like I don't like to be told anything. Like I'm not that girl.
Yeah.
So it was just that yeah, no. And even the way he was talking, like I said, who you I'm not your child. Don't say I said because I said that to my daughter. To get it. So when I went to tell my friends, they were like, "Oh yeah, that's how their boyfriends are because they're African. They feel like, do you understand?
What country is he from?
Nigeria and Ghana,
Oh, he's a mix. Okay, interesting.
and
Okay.
and also as well, there was something. There was another thing. You see, like if you just meet someone, you're not gonna make them come to your straight house straight away. He kept on me like, right, who do you live with? I was like, my auntie, my uncle, like everyone lived in that house at him. Because it's like, why are you so concerned with who I live with?
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, everything was,
Damn.
but the major things, and I said it to my friend, like, you seem like a nice person, but I can't do the control thing. Especially I have a girl.
Mm.
Imagine you be telling me, I said, yeah, no, I
That's
don't know about that one.
interesting, man. Very, very, very interesting. So, what I've gathered from what you've said, obviously, you done the day. Everything seemed like it was gonna go smooth. Then there's a few inconsistencies with certain appearances he's kept up with over the phone, and opposed to meeting him in person. You said he downplayed the fact that he was more known, and actually, basically, he didn't express how known he was over the phone till he met you. So he made it seem like he's a quiet person. He doesn't really know
Yeah, like you don't
anybody.
know no
Yeah.
one. So he downplayed it. And do you know, is even when he said, because I think we were on going out to eat and my phone, the dating app messaged. So it was another notification to match. So he was like, "Oh, I think you should delete the app." And my head was like, "You're
Damn.
brazy. You're really brazy. Like the same way I met you on the app. What do you think? Do you understand?"
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But I
yeah.
was just thinking, no, like you're doing.
Yeah, that's mad, man. That's mad. I feel like let me update this layout quickly.
And
Oh
then the
damn.
other guy,
Yeah,
he
go
was
on. I'm just editing
totally.
something quickly.
The other guy was totally opposite. Like such a nice person, sweet, down to earth. Is actually unique. Like there's no background check on him. We've run that through how many times. Like there is actually nothing. But this one was just yeah.
So would you say it was a horrible experience then?
No, it's definitely not a horrible experience because we even said that we're gonna stay cool. Like he was giving me like cool vibes, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like I said to me, I don't know if it was the nerves. I don't know what it was, but it was coming across too strong for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so okay, cool. So you definitely identified certain things where he didn't make it clear that he was more known than he said he was. And then you
Mhm.
spoke about just controlling mannerisms that he's had as well, which is a bit of a that's definitely a red flag. Obviously, you can factor in the whole cultural thing and whatnot,
Yeah,
which is
it's
fair
definitely.
enough.
Rana, how can you
But
tell
it
me? How can you
yeah,
tell
go
me
on.
I don't like you when you told me to hold on? I said, what? I was in my head, I was
Wow.
thinking, you're bugging. You're definitely bugging.
Wow, that's what you said, yeah. Damn. You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
let me get Jay in because Jay, you had your reservations about. We warned her. You can say we warned you, but hearing what she said, what's your kind of instant response in this kind of thing?
See, I just have a question, really, like to say,
Okay.
do you think if you had met him face to
Uh,
face, you would have seen those red flags a lot sooner
hmm.
than having that extended time of talking? Because everyone's going to give their best selves, but this is what I'm saying. Your intuition kicked in. Like, do you understand me? So his mannerisms literally instantly felt comfortable when he saw you face to face. enough to vocalize those
Mm-hmm.
things. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
where if you had met him in person, like if you had been out and you'd met him, like you would have got certain things that probably didn't sit right with you, and you would have seen how well known he was with who he is, how he is with his boys. Do you understand what I'm saying? You get a bit more of his character, or maybe you might have seen him by himself if he's by himself, but certain things may have kind of red flagged for you, like your instincts might have been like, oh, nah, like nah.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely
So go on.
think.
What's your answer to that question? Do you feel like if you met him in person, as Jay's asking, do you think you would have seen these things from early, or do you just think it was luck of the draw, roll of the dice that, you know what, I've met him in person, he seems to be like this? Do you feel like you would have noticed these things if you did meet him first in person rather than online?
I can't say yes and I can't say no because people are deceivers. I can meet someone first instance and they can be the nicest
Leon's
person. No,
Leon feels like
because
you're moving the goalpost.
no,
No,
do you know?
people are deceivers. I agree with her.
No,
Carry
I'm
on.
gonna tell you.
I read it
Sorry,
wrong. My
I've
bad.
met
It
guys
triggered something
that
for
I've
me, a
met
bit
on
of
the first
PTSD, but
day.
carry on.
I've met guys
We'll
that I
go
met
to
on
that.
the first day and they seem so cool, Rhino. They seem like, do you know what I mean? And after
Yeah.
time, things start folding.
Yeah. But don't you think don't you think that's a walk of life? Don't you think the standard basic thing that's gonna happen in life is you're gonna meet genuine people and you're gonna meet non-genuine people. But there's just more likelihood of it happening when you meet someone online and then meet them in person. Don't you think that, because if we look at probability now, I think it's just because, okay, so what one person will argue is that it can happen both ways. You could be online, you can be in person, and it can happen regardless, which is true. But don't you think that it's more likely to happen in an environment where the whole catfishing thing started? The whole fact that people can hide behind apps, downplay whether they say their height is this and they're not really that high, or they say that this is their job description and it's not really that. Fair enough, someone could do that in person, but don't you think it's just more likely to happen online than it is in person? Because you can generally just read things that you can't read online in terms of someone's energy or someone's vibe. That's the question I have to ask. Do you think it's more likely to happen over a dating app than in person, or do you think it's just same either way?
Individual basis.
You know, I'm not
Individual
gonna lie
basis.
to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Let me go through the comments quickly anyway. I said big up Natural already. Big up Football 360. He says he or she, could be a she. I'm gonna say he because I'm assuming, but you let me know if any different. Dating apps are default a killer for relationships on real life. Doesn't help with confidence. Also, one bug red flag for me is a girl. Okay, so you're a guy, I'm assuming. For me is a gal that desire too much material stuff and puts her personal interests first. Clarify that. For me, Football 360. And you've got another comment here says, I'm an African and I guarantee you we treat women with respect. But I believe personally women want to be dominated by men in all aspects. That's how we get the respect, innit? Interesting. And you're he for
Oh my
sure.
God.
Interesting.
Red
Interesting.
flag.
Can I
Red
say
flag.
something as well, yeah?
Why is that?
Can I say
Go on.
something?
What?
Because
Yeah,
I
go
was
on.
talking to another guy from this same app, yeah, and he was
Yeah.
saying that the only reason he's on there is because he's a businessman or something,
Okay, cool.
and he travels and he doesn't really have time to go outside and socialize because of his job and certain things, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's actually genuine people on the app, yeah. But I don't know, but like my friend said the same thing that Jay said. Jamila, in person, you would have known that person's a dickhead. But I wouldn't. I literally don't think I would have because I'm not very
Okay, go
good
on.
when it comes to
Elaborate.
judge of character.
I was going to ask you that question, and I think
Yeah,
that's
no,
probably,
I'll be honest.
like
Like,
where,
trust me,
yeah,
I
I
definitely think.
trust my judgment. Yeah, I trust my judgment when it comes to judging people with character, and that comes like again with kind of personal experiences that I learn a lot from other people. Do you understand me? Certain mannerisms, and I think where sometimes the jobs I've had professionally have had to teach me to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, I sometimes you know, like when I see people, I kind of almost mute what they're saying, but I look at their actions. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like again, you might hi, how you doing? Is it seeming warm? What their mannerisms? Do you understand me? Just certain things that you might just pick out that you go, oh,
Tone of
and
voice.
if it seems a
Tone of
little
voice
bit,
is a big one.
all of that body language. So for me, I'd like those are the things I would more look to rather than what anything anyone is saying. So I'm that's what I think it is.
No,
So
but you
and
to
then
me,
if you're not a good judge of character, then I also think that dating online for you may be a red flag as well, because you could have 10 men saying the same thing, 10 men saying the same thing within an app. Hi, how you doing? Oh, blah blah blah. I'm a businessman. I do this, I do that. How are you going to then judge who is telling the truth and who isn't? What have you got to base it on other than text?
it's true.
You can't see their actions. Yeah, so that would be my thing. So
yeah, let me read the rest of the chats quickly. So Magpie says, if a girl has guy friends or wears anything revealing, that's an instant red flag for him. He ain't putting up with a HOE, he says. His body, his choice. Ooh. And obviously, I'm waiting for Football 360 to elaborate. Jay, you said instant red flag when Football 360 said he believes personally women want to be dominated by men in all aspects. That's how we get respect. I'll be interested to know what team you support as well. But yeah, what made you say that that's a red flag for you in terms of what he said in that comment?
We don't want to be dominated in all aspects. We just want to be respected in all aspects. So again, for me, it's a two-way thing. I'm gonna show you respect, you show me respect. I don't want to be dominated. Again, I've built enough for myself. Like again, advise me, don't dominate me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you could be like, oh, my opinion is blah blah blah. Do you understand? Whether I go with your opinion or not is another thing, because I'm a person in my own right. That's what I bring to the relationship. Hence, the same way I can advise my partner and say, oh babe, like I think blah blah blah. Ultimately it's his choice and I have to respect that because he is an individual in his own right. Do you know what I'm saying? So when we come together now, it's a whole nother thing. Do you understand me? In the sense of the decisions that we make that will benefit both of us, but and our relationship going forward.
Two strong individuals, yeah?
That's how it should be. And you build on that. You build together. But this whole dominated, I'm not looking to dominate no man, and he shouldn't be looking to dominate me. Like, am I a kid?
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Football 360 has broken down the context of his earlier statement. He says, dominated in the sense that they want to be cared for, want to be loved, spoiled, want to be treated like a woman, basically, and have the male figure that can keep them in check.
He's using the wrong word.
So I definitely think
provide a carer, do you know what I mean? Like support.
Yeah.
He definitely used the word out.
Dominate's quite strong, do you know what I mean? With that.
Yeah.
It's
quite strong, like, dominate, do you know what I mean?
Dominate,
Dominate is that control.
Seems picky. That's what I'm saying. Like literally, that's why I said, am I a child? So again, even that male figure that can keep them in check. I don't need anyone to keep me in check. You know why you stepped to me in the first place. You should know I can keep myself in check. So I don't need a man to keep me in check. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you know what? Do you know what? I do not. I think he means, Jay. I think he means just that. You know that person you can lean on when you're going left or you're losing track. He can just help you keep like on the right track. Yeah. So I think maybe it's the choice of words. I think overall he doesn't mean nothing negative. Don't negative. But I get what Jay's saying as well.
Don't be going to gal with that chat, man, because they're going to shut you down quick, innit? Don't be like,
what team do you support?
I'm here to dominate and take over, because it's going to be like, yo, she ain't replying. You know what I mean?
What team do you support? What team do you support? I want to associate your mannerisms with a football team. Please pick the.
If it's Arsenal, then you're flawed, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Well, never. I
look at Magpies. Magpies is excited here, dominated in the bedroom too. Yes, obviously that's a different context.
that's a different
obviously.
podcast right now.
Magpie
People.
just wanted to add that in. He literally
Yeah, he
wanted
wanted to say
in,
that.
Couldn't
Yeah,
wait.
big up
couldn't wait.
Magpies. Big up FNR as well, my bro. Best podcast in the country. Make sure you run up the likes. Yeah, run up the likes as well, people, man. Please, man.
But
I
you
know
know
there's
what
a
I was
lot of
saying?
shows on today, but please run up the likes. Go on, Jamila.
Do you know what I was saying as well though? Because my friend went on her date yesterday,
Mm.
and she came back and she was over the moon. Like she came back and she was over the moon, like, and she was saying, but then she went out of her comfort zone. Do you understand?
Mm.
She went for something that she wouldn't have gone through before.
Mm.
Total opposite. Like definitely not in our age bracket. Like she stepped out the
Okay.
box.
Okay. And would you like to elaborate? Was that good? And was it a good? Did it end up being a good kind of step
Yeah,
that she made?
she enjoyed it. Like she enjoyed it, but like she also didn't go by herself.
Mm-hmm.
She did the thing that
Okay.
I said to you. Like someone has to sit on another table and location.
What do you mean? So one a double
Like
date? Somebody she knows was just in the same place that
no,
he didn't
she
know
was
about.
like she went with my friend, and they sat on like a table close to them.
Mm-hmm,
What do you mean? So it was a double date then? 'Cause you're saying that.
No, the guy didn't know.
Oh, okay. So she's doing her thing, but they're okay. Got you. I'm with you.
So she just went because it was just like where they went wasn't very packed. Like she made sure that like she could see or
So
she
what?
understand.
So what are you saying? So did she do the view where she said no, you sit here? So they were sat behind him, so then they could do the signal thing, like she's
Yeah,
watching
so she
until they
could
get
like
them.
if she had to duck, she could.
That's
Do you know
mad
what I mean?
still. Do you know what I mean?
I
But
guess that's
yeah,
smart because that kind of allows you
Safety
to.
aspect.
Yeah,
I
safety.
think
Yeah,
females, that's quite smart still.
yeah,
because
it's definitely 100% smart. Yeah.
even when I went, my friends was like, we have this thing called 360. I don't know if you know it, where
Oh, the camera thing.
you can see your brethren's location. So like your
Oh,
friend, you can see like where she is.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
so they
Do you
were
want to
like,
elaborate on it so that people that don't know about it can look into it as well?
okay, so guys, for anybody like that, if you obviously, even if you have a child and you want to know where your child's location
Mm-hmm.
is, you download the app. It's called 360.
Mm-hmm.
The app literally they turn on their location and it tells you exactly where they are, what time they are there, and it gives you the exact like. Say when I went, my friend was like, "Okay, did you not just come out the black car? Because that arrived at so and so time."
Okay.
So it's very like very detailed.
Yeah, that's good. I would definitely say when you are using apps, make sure you do the full research as well because there's also the positive, there's also negatives with apps like that in terms of how secure they are. So if you're using a secure app, you make sure no one else can kind of hack into it because that's what these kind of other people are going to be trying to do, following people around and hacking.
Let
But
me
if it's a
tell you
good
the
app,
story, guys.
then yeah.
Let me tell you the joke. I met some guy. He said, "Do I know who he is?" I said, "No. Who are you?" He said, "Ask about him." Yeah. I was thinking, "Ask about you." Like that sounds very. I asked about him, and someone was like, "What?" So I've gone on, showed my friend the other profile. He's some Peckham boy that obviously no one wants to date. So he's obviously gone there on some like next name, next kind of. It was
Is
wild.
that an app? Yeah,
That's on Hinge.
on Hinge. Okay.
So he's come
So
back with like some next name. That's not his name.
so when he said ask about him, explain the context because I'm a bit
Like,
confused.
because we got comfortable now, and now honesty's coming out. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So he was like, "Rod, you know what? I might as well be honest. You're gonna find about me one day."
Yeah.
And then he said his name. So soon as he said his name, obviously you still got friends from certain places. I must have been like, I sent him the Hinge picture and I was like, "Guys, you don't know him?"
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Yeah, that's so and so, stay away." But it's the fact that he came back with a whole different profile. Obviously, because he's been missing from ends for so long, he looks different. You would never know who it was. Only
So
someone that knew him
basically,
before.
So when he says, what I don't get, so his name and everything was the same, but he just looked different.
No. His name, obviously, you know, back in the day, you go by your own name.
Yeah.
So obviously, he didn't go by his real name.
So how can you ask about him if the pretense of what you're asking about was false? That's what I didn't get. How can you ask about him if it's not really him?
Okay, yeah, so they said ask about him, but it was his tag, innit? So like he's saying ask, man him about me, but he said his tag.
Oh, okay. He's told you a tag and he said ask about me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
with
I
you
should
now.
have made that clearer.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone's coming back with like, I was just thinking you should have never said ask about you, but I think he thought I actually wasn't gonna do it. You know, like some people be like, yeah, I can't. I literally went on the phone like 2 seconds after. I said, excuse me, do you know this? And then by the time I just unmatched him, there was no, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might have just done it from like I'm a big, do you know what I mean? I'm big dog energy sort of thing. Like, yo, do you know what I mean? Like that was gonna be.
Yeah, he was like, I changed my life around. I've gone uni now. I've got a degree. I have kids. I don't care. I could still be shot with you.
Yeah, we don't want that, but we definitely understand. Big up Dan in the building. I'm going to even ask Dan a question because, like I said, me and Dan were having an interesting debate on WhatsApp. We didn't finish it because I was quite busy. Dan's obviously busy as well. But quick, just to answer AGF, big up AGF. He says, "What are you guys and ladies' thoughts on who pays the bill? At the end of the day, I got brought up as a man." Basically, that you should be paying, but it's nice for a woman to offer. I'm gonna let you answer that, Jamila, because if you didn't catch the update she gave earlier on, she said that she was in a situation where you said that you felt like the guy didn't want to pay. You said
no, he wanted to pay, but he wanted to pay, but I felt like I wanted to offer because the bill was not like cheap.
Okay.
So I wanted to offer, like, and my head was like, Jams, are you stupid? But in my head, like, it was something to do. And, you know, if it wasn't someone that I wouldn't, if I didn't care or didn't like you, I'd be like, fuck that, pay your bill. Do you get him? But I actually helped. I was like, do you want me to help? But he turned it down. I feel like if you can afford to help the person and you're comfortable in doing it, then yeah. But I don't feel like it's something I personally would do on a normal day because I don't believe in 50-50. Unless it's your birthday and I'm taking you out, I wouldn't pay. Yeah. Or I've said, let's go out to eat, babes. I wouldn't pay. No, I wouldn't. I
fully hear that. Cool, makes sense. There's your answer, AGF. I agree with you. I just feel like it's courteous and it's just a bit of chivalry and just going back to that point of where Football 360 was talking about, you know, caring for people and just being that guy, like, you know, be the courteous guy and say, you know, I'll cover you, it's fine. I can understand why some people don't agree on that because everyone's different and I can't speak for other people, but from just where I can say upbringing and just the society I'm in, it's just courteous, it's just nice, you know, to step up as the guy, you know. And I can say maybe you can use the word, like, I can see the word dominance used in that sense where it's like you stand up and, you know, let me just take care of this bill. I've got you. You feel me? So that's a nice kind of gentle way to use the word where you've exerted a bit of dominance in the situation.
It's not a gentle word, bro. It's not a gentle word.
It is. Because dominance. It's the same. Yes, it is. It's the same way you can say...
No.
I don't think it's a gentle word.
You know what?
I'm going to dominate right now and pay this bill.
Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to
go 50-50, Dan.
Don't worry. This is what we're going to do because I don't mind being challenged.
Dan.
Okay. Go on, Dan. Is that
Dan, big up for coming, man. I thought you'd be rock climbing that. My bad, bro. But go on, carry on.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, don't forget.
Dan will definitely make you do 50-50. He'll make you do 80.
You hear me?
Yo, can you hear, man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, man?
Cool.
How's everyone this evening? Everyone
well? We're good. But Dan, I'm going to bring you back in because I want to finish this dominance conversation because Jay and Leon have challenged me to in sense of the word dominance. So what I want to ask you guys is, all right, cool. You say, can you explain what you said again, Leon, so that I can base my response on what you
were
just
saying
said.
basically that the word dominance can be used in the aspect of paying for a date. That's strong, bro. Like that's do you know what I mean? I'm gonna dominate and pay for the date. Like, bro, it's the wrong word. It's kind of the wrong word and stuff.
Okay,
It's
cool.
like-
So okay,
man.
so when I said that means you missed out the bit when I said that you've dominated the situation. You've stepped up. Dominance is stepping up. It's you being the higher overarching person.
It's not the word I would
So
use. Like, do you know what I mean?
okay, cool. So that means that if you use it in a sexual way and you're dominant, that means you're being aggressive then. It's the same principle then.
No,
am I wrong?
I just think for that context, for what you're talking about, for that particular
There you
example,
go.
yeah.
Okay, context. So that's what I'm saying. So
Are we doing this again? Are we really doing this again?
No, but this is what makes conversation interesting. No, this is what makes a conversation interesting because I understand where you guys are coming from, but I feel like once I've set the context, don't now say, oh, but you don't use it there. I've already set the context. So you can't now just change it and say, oh, but I don't think you should use it like that. But I've set the context. So that's where I'm going with it. Do you get where I'm coming from?
No, but you again when you saying dominating and paying, that's totally different. Like that's not dominating. Like,
I don't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Chivalry, but that's what I'm saying. So
okay,
for me,
all right, okay.
Take
all right,
the
cool.
lead.
All right, cool. But take the lead is dominance though, because you've now exerted the position to take the lead over something. So basically, the same way. The reason why I broke it down at this point, because this is how I see it. No, obviously, no one has to agree and whatever. But I'm just saying it as chivalry. If you look, let's actually look at the word chivalry. Yeah, let's look at it. Yeah, so let's type in chivalry.
The thing is, I get what you're trying to say right now.
Oh, Rhino, that's too much.
If you get what he's trying to say, then why are you sweating him, bro?
No, I'm talking to Rhino. 1 second, bro.
You know what he's saying, fam?
1 sec, bro.
You little weasel, blood.
It's
Danny's
like
too much. Danny mentioned
that,
the other day.
You know what it's
Nah,
like,
Leon knows what he means. Why he wants to be, ignorant.
Rhino, do you know what it's like? Rhino, do you know? I was waiting for him to go.
Extra dude, like
man tried to come in.
Leaf it out, bruv.
Man tried to come in, yeah, like this, yeah. How you doing, people? You're right. You're having a good Sunday, man. Yeah.
Of course, because I'm a kind guy. I like to greet everyone in the room that I'm stepping in, blood. What about you?
But let's go back to Jamila's point why Rhino's looking that up. Yeah, Jamila challenged and Daddy obviously palmed it off about the whole like, would you pay for the date and that, yeah, and that sort of thing. Yeah, I'll give you the answer that I think that Danny would say, Jamila. Yeah, he's paying for the date.
No, you can't speak for me, motherfucker.
You know why he's paying for the date? Because it's a cheap date. It's a cheap date. It's on the park. It's table tennis. Of course, he's paying for it. Do you know what I mean? If it's table tennis on the park,
you're Mystic Meg now. You're not only Bruno Fernandes, you're Mystic Meg as well. Like, you're moving mad.
Sorry, Danny, you can speak for yourself. You're paying for the date.
You know how?
Well, anyway, yeah.
You know how sick Danny is? Danny messaged me the other day, said, what did he say? You should go on a date with Thing because he will be able to. I was like, are you stupid or dumb?
With who?
You two will shoot. You know what I'm saying? But listen, guys, let's not forget what Jamila said last week. She says she wants to be the dominator. It come out your mouth. It come out your mouth. Am I lying?
Hey, see, this is what I mean. What I mean.
But do you know what?
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm not. I'm sitting on my
Don't
back.
go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
You, Daddy, that was awful. That was awful. As soon as he said that, I thought, no, what's he doing?
Yeah, he's just ridiculous, Danny.
Hey, what were you saying?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, here's where I'm coming from because I feel like it's easy to get misinterpreted all the time, and I can understand why you can disagree with something. But when it's not that much of a stretch, or you can hear it, there's no point of kind of debating against it because you can just hear it. So when it comes to men and women, chivalry means the man does most of those little things, open the door. If someone else can look at it and say, hold on, you've got your own hand, why should a man open the door for a woman? You can look at it in that way. How come the man has to use his energy and open the door? How come someone can't open the door for him? That shows that there's a level, the word chivalry is built around the man being that forefront. I'll open the door. I'll cover the bill. The man of the house, the term man of the house. And I feel like people will have an issue with the term man in the house, but then they'll criticize that. But then when you say women run the road, they don't carry the same energy. So women are allowed to run the world, but a man can't be the man of the house. I feel like there's no double standards. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's where I'm coming from. When I use the word dominance, yes, it's a stretch. And yes, I know it might trigger some people, but that's how life goes, isn't it? But I kind of set the context. Do you get where I'm coming from? So
yeah, I hear that, but I don't agree with it Because again,
no
for
problem.
me, if you look up the word dominate,
Damn.
it says have power and influence.
Ooh.
Like
Okay.
that literally.
Okay.
So again,
Cool.
if you,
Yeah.
that's why I would take Leon's thing and say, then that was not the right word to use
Okay.
within that
Okay.
sentence.
I would have said
Understand?
lead. I would have said
Okay.
lead.
Okay.
By saying that, yeah, you're paying for the
Okay.
date just to get influence and power.
No. Okay, we can play this game then. Power and influence. So that means if you dominate sexually, you've got power and influence of that person. So that's in essential
He
borderline what?
dominated with
Ways
some
you can
people
do it,
like
by the way.
some people like that though, because you have the dominatrix. That's what they like in the bedroom, for somebody to have power over them.
So
But
wait.
again,
And it
like,
makes them feel the type of way.
in the
There you go.
bedroom in a sexual manner. If you're talking about having power and influence over somebody in everyday day-to-day life, that's mad.
I don't agree. I feel like it's all contextualized. If you're gonna say dominance and power and there's no context to it, I can understand. But if you've added the context of a dominance, there you go. There's a discussion. You get what I'm saying? Same way you can contextualize it sexually is the same way I contextualized it when I said that you've stepped in. Okay, so this is my question. Why does a man have to pay the bill then? Why is it such a thing where the woman has power over the man that she doesn't have to pay the bill? Why?
Power.
Why
though.
does a man have to pay for the
It's
bill?
not power.
What's the difference?
It's
What's the
not
difference
power.
between? No, okay, but why is the man a provider then? Why isn't the woman a provider? That's what I'll answer the question. I'm going somewhere with it. I know my answer.
Societal roles. Societal roles.
Okay,
like if you
so
go
what
back
do
The
to
man is supposed to be the head
caveman
of the
Okay.
house. The man is supposed to pay the finance. He's
Okay,
supposed to make sure the
okay.
families,
Okay.
like, that's what
Okay.
a man does.
Oh, what?
you
So
know
you're
what's
telling me
There you
modern
go.
women want traditional
No,
roles
Dan,
now, yeah?
Danny,
Women are meant to
Danny,
be
Modern women
caregivers.
want
You know what
traditional
it is?
roles now, yeah?
You man say,
Danny,
you know what's
Danny,
so funny? I was even listening
perfect.
to this the other day. You guys say, oh, what can you bring to the table? What do you fucking bring to the table as men?
Okay.
You don't want
Language.
women to sit in the
Wait, Danny,
kitchen.
Danny, wait. This is
Sorry,
fine.
sorry.
No, Danny, this is going exactly how I want it. This is exactly what I want to hear. And I don't know if Leon knows me by now. He knows how I will. You just said men are supposed to do this. Men are supposed to do that. Is that not dominance? Is that not you putting them in a more dominance role?
Societal role.
But
Men are meant to. Of course, it is.
But
like
society
they say
says men
women are
shouldn't cry.
caregivers.
Society
Like they
says
say
men shouldn't be
women are supposed
weak.
to be
But
in the kitchen
I don't
applying
agree with
laws,
that.
and men are
Society is
supposed
not
to
the
be
rules
out
of
doing the work.
You
everything.
don't have to agree with it. And if you look
Okay,
at society
so
now,
where's your point
society now
then?
says that women can pay 50-50. Again, it's down to a choice. If
They're talking on a
that's
general,
your
Rhino.
choice,
They're
then
talking about general.
if that's your choice, again, and if I met somebody who and he said, "Oh, he doesn't. I should open doors. I've got my own hands, mate. You're not gonna give me the same softness I'm gonna give you. Forget that.
No,
Like,
but
it's
you
okay.
Fuck you. Sorry.
No. You've taken what I've said out of context. I'm not saying that the guy's gonna respond and say, "Oh, you've got your own hands." But in his theory, hold on, why do I have to open the door? Why can't you open the door for me? Why does a man? I'm just asking a question. If society's okay, Jay and Jamila, do you prefer a man to open the door for you and a man to be the man of the house and a man to be the caregiver? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
And Jay, what about you?
Yeah. So, but again, when you say man of the house, I'm not going to lie. I am quite handy around the house. So
No, we
again,
know that Jay is a very competent lady. But
literally,
what's man
what
of the
I'm
house?
saying-
When you expect the man to be man of the house, what does it mean? Elaborate. When you say
Okay, so if he sees me, if he comes in and he sees me, or like say I've come in with the shopping, yeah, and I'm saying to him, oh, he sees me carrying the bags, you come and help, innit? Ain't that standard? Is that not standard?
Leon, do you agree with that?
What if man's got a bad shoulder though, innit? Man's done gym too hard, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Shoulder, then I'm not going to expect you to do that.
No, I hear that.
But what I would have done is probably cared for your shoulder enough that you could come and help me with the bags.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a tricky line here, innit, between expectation and then what. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the right woman, and I'm guessing, to be fair, you two probably fit this category. The right woman wouldn't expect the guy to do it. Like, they wouldn't like hold it against the guy if he didn't do it.
Jamila does. Jamila says she expects. Maybe Jay's got a bit of a different standpoint.
No,
but Jamila said the guy has to pay for this. He has to do that. What the hell does he bring? What else does he bring? That's what she said earlier.
What, is that from early Jamila, or is that like for the end of time? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm saying because obviously
that's a two factor. What?
That's a doom.
I expect unless he can't, he physically and mentally can't do it, then it's different. Or he's not in the position to do it, then it's different.
But other than that, he's expected. He's expected.
100%.
I'm sorry. One thing I'd like to say, like 1 second. I'm not saying this, that again in that expectation, but the man's doing it and I don't do my own. He will be very happy.
Oh yeah,
with
Jay.
I
Yeah, definitely. We said,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Say that again.
So,
what do you mean? Wait, say that again. I didn't get that.
Again, so I know like there's this talk of expectations, but again, as much as it's only everybody would have their expectations, right? You go into a relationship, you kind of know what your boundaries are and blah blah blah. That for me is expectations. Do you understand? So once that's set, that's set. So I'm like, okay, cool. I would expect you to see me with heavy bags and you come and help. The same way if you had heavy bags and I'm thinking, oh, my baby's is struggling, I'm not going to sit down, cross my legs and look at you and go, yeah, come on. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's two of us in this thing.
Do you know what it is, Jay? That's why I separated Jay from this point. I said Jay has got a different standpoint with expectation.
Yeah,
but Jamila's one, unless your hand's broken, you better it's your responsibility. And the man in the house means, I've Googled it, the male family member who has the most responsibility for taking care of and making decisions about the household. And I can take words from that, from what I was talking about, dominance, about influence and power. That is influence and power of the house. Yes, there's different contexts of it. You can use it negatively, but it can also be seen positively as, do you get it? So that's where I'm coming from with that word. That's why I like to build conversations and have the context behind it. I don't mean it in a negative way. Obviously, you're going to use dominance. I know what you're saying,
Rhino. You're talking like by the actual what the I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys
I mean?
will sit here and talk about what can you bring to the table, whatever.
Here we go, Jamila.
What can you bring to the table?
Who said that?
Like guys in general, they'll say, "What can you bring to the table?" Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would never answer that question. Because why are you talking to me if you don't think I'd bring anything to the table? Why are you physically going out your way to talk to me if you do not see me bringing anything to the table?
But then you guys asked the same question. What can a man bring to the table? You just literally said, "What the f?" Look, you even cursed with a bit of aggression. Like, what do men do? So if you can demand it, why can't a man demand it too? A man can demand expectations too.
Okay, good. Let me give you an example. Yeah. My Jamaican friend was saying that her man is good, because he can do everything in and around the house, but he's broke, So he can do all the fixing, he can do everything, but he can't pay the bills. So one of my brothers said, it's compromise, isn't it? It's a win-win. You can't always get both in it. You either have the man that can cook and clean, and that can't provide, or the man that goes out and works and does none of that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I think one thing I would say on what you said though is, it's not that he can't provide; he's providing in different ways. So but not so maybe in the typical financial and rare. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Demla was laughing, but I think like as much as I want a man with money, if I was sick and I came home and my man was giving me money, but I'm struggling with my kids and he's not doing anything, he can't cook and clean, I feel like he would have to go. No, because what can you actually do? I'm physically ill and you're giving me money, but you can't do things that the yardie man probably could have done because he can't make the money. Do you understand?
Yeah, I think that probably goes back to, like Jay was saying, different people's expectations, because someone might say that the basics is be financially comfortable and be able to provide moralistically in the house. Some people might say that. Other people might not mind the money side and don't mind the personal side because they don't mind kind of counterbalancing it. So I feel like in general, in an ideal world, both people are competent. You just help each other out. It shouldn't be
feel
remote,
like you should date if you're not financially stable? Let me everyone answer this question. Do you feel like you should date if you're not financially stable?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's an interesting question. Leon, you wanna actually let me ask
on top of that question, would you date a woman who wasn't financially stable?
Yeah, that's another good question. So let me ask Danny. Let's go to Danny first, Leon. Do you know why I want to ask Danny? Because of the point he made last week about KFC.
Yeah,
and all the stuff.
Let me just touch on it quickly. I'm not going to
go on.
this point, but like it's
I
think you can. I don't think it's sometimes it's not realistic in like in today's society, but I think it depends what you're looking for, and it depends. Like for example, if you date a woman that's not financially stable, but everything else is there, then you can build that woman up. Vice versa with a guy. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because you've got all of the other aspects of everything. So why can't you build it up? But it's where
balancing each other out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's where you're at with your life, what your expectation is, and I think it's about having that right like mindset going in and the right expectations going in. Because like if let me give you an example. If I'm dating Jamila, I can imagine that you're going to tell me from the start
I'm joking.
what your expectation is, because you're very straight in the way you're talking, which is quite refreshing. But other people don't say it, but they just everything around it says it, but they don't say it, if that makes sense. And I've had that before where people are acting a certain way but not communicating to me. So then I'm just like, cool, you can't communicate. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like everything you're telling me is this, but you don't tell me in it. So if that makes sense. But yeah, obviously be interested to hear what Danny says, because man's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Even just to kind of carry on what you're saying. That's I think, whether the female doesn't have finances or the guy doesn't have finances, I think it's good either way, as long as you've set your kind of boundaries. Like you keep it real. Like you might meet a female, she's on her last change, and then you treat her out to dinner and whatever, and then you lot gel well. You're not gonna and you lot genuinely like each other. You're not gonna think, okay, she don't have money, I'm not really interested. Some people might, because they don't want maybe her to be reliant on him or whatever, or vice versa. Maybe the female wouldn't want the guy to be reliant. But I feel like it depends what your core value is of what dating is. Some people are looking for companionship. Some people are looking for somebody to build things with and whatever. And even then, you can still build something with somebody that doesn't have money, because maybe you guys align. Like maybe that person's got dreams.
Maybe she compliments what you don't have.
You can compliment each other. Yeah. You can just help each other out. So me personally, I just think there's no rules to dating, but it's when you set your bar too high and you can't really keep up with it, then that's when it becomes a problem. Yeah, you can't maintain it.
I like the strong individual thing, because for me personally, it's like I don't expect anything from the other person, and I feel like they should expect the chivalry and the man things from me, but not too far. That's the way I kind of
within reason.
That's the energy I attract. Where it's like, for me, it's like I would never say, "Oh, there's set roles for everything." Do you know what I'm saying? All the strong women, all the strong people in my family are women, so I've got a different view to do things altogether. Like it's kind of shameful if I can't look after my own house. I'm not the kind of guy to sit on the sofa and be like, my dinner's not ready and nowhere's clean. I'm just gonna go do it. Like that's just the way. Me and AG spoke about this before, Rhino. We're very similar in that aspect, but we'll just get on with stuff in it. But like, if you come in and compliment each other and you both a team, and you maybe one takes one role, one takes another. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been in a relationship before where I didn't really like cleaning the bathroom. So she would clean the bathroom, but then I'll go clean the kitchen and cook. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a good balance.
Yeah, the balance. 100%. In my opinion, I agree on that still. Dan, what's your opinion in terms of, I think Jay said she added
there's loads of things, man, that I wanted to chip in with, but I'll just letting people go. But
Jamila, what was your question again? What was your first question?
Best budget dates in London, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, do you think it's right for, like, do you think that you should date and you're not financially stable?
And then Jay asked the other way around as well. Would the guy do? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
Firstly, I just want to say, like what Leon was saying, it's like, and Rhino, it's like context is everything, innit? Not everything applies to all every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but having said that, it's like when shit hits the fan, that's when reality kicks in. Because it's all well and good saying what you expect and what you think something should be. But for example, if your man loses his job, you're together, he loses his job, how long are you going to put up with him not earning or getting money or working and that? So I'm saying, it sounds all good if, you're with each other at the start and it's, all roses. But then when shit hits the fan, that's when you really see what it is, what something is.
And do you know what? That's very important as well. Just to, I don't want to throw you off the flow, but that's why I always tell people in any aspects of life, the real people you know is when you tell them no. You know, that's your real friends, your real family. How do they act when you can't do the normal?
Tell them
when
no
you
one
them
time,
no, when you let them down. Yeah, that's when you see the real.
You're there for them 100 times, and the one time you be like, nah, then it's like you're the worst person in the whole entire galaxy, bruv. It's like, nah, man.
But obviously, there's context behind that, because what you said about if a guy loses his job and whatever, it depends.
Because realistically, a lot of people will be like, yeah, no, I'll stick by my man and that, but it's like, will you though? Has it happened yet? You know what? You know, will you really? So I think we all like to live in. Go on.
For a woman, at the moment, you're gonna obviously want to stick by your man. You're gonna want to do everything. As time gets on, remember, things change. Like right now, you could get overwhelmed because now you're paying everything, and do you understand? But I don't feel like it's a reason to leave a man. But obviously, the dynamics might put strain on your relationship. It might break down now. Do you understand?
Look, to be fair, even if I had a woman, right, that's like, just for me personally, it's like, even if she didn't have no problem or whatever, or she claims she never had a problem, just me as a man, like inside, it wouldn't feel right if I'm not doing what I need to be doing, if you get what I mean. Like whether
that's why the guy said to me,
facts, man. Big facts.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's why the guy said to me he can't date till he's financially stable. Another guy said to me, he said he's not gonna date because the things that he would want to do, he won't be able to do as a man, and he won't feel like he's doing his duty. And say if something happens, he wouldn't feel like he can't take us out because he doesn't have the finance.
You gotta respect the honesty with that, you know, for him to do that.
And that's why I feel like I agree to a certain extent. Like if you're not financially where you are and you feel like you can't fend for yourself, how do you expect to fend for someone else?
No, I agree. You definitely need to be in a certain position or whatever, but at the same time, it's not gonna stop a man from trying. Like
some man are eating,
like,
some man are eating Indomie and struggling. They shouldn't date.
Do you know what?
No, but then everyone needs love as well. Everyone needs love.
I think it's what you put value on, Jamila. I think it's like, for example, if your expectation is all my brethrens are going out and doing nice things, and this guy can't provide that, you might end up losing someone that was good for you because you're looking at what everyone else is. If you look at it, it might be where, like, for example, when Danny was saying, obviously, I know I've been taking a piss in that saying a rock climbing rare, but he's got a point in what he does, because like the activity dates and the experiences are holding more weight sometimes than a dinner. Like, in my opinion, they are. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, or it doesn't even have to be bloody rock climbing or whatever he said. Do you know what I mean? It can be.
Like,
it
even
could
when
be
I offered, I was like, sorry, I was like, I can pay for myself. He was like, no way.
At the end of the day, it's about how you make someone feel, right? It's about how you make someone feel. That's the key in life. Any relationship. How do you make someone feel? That's it.
You know,
that's all it is, man. I can't even lie. But then you get into the semantics, all the added things. It's like, yeah, we're going here, we're going there, we're gonna, and that's part of it. Cool, I agree. But the main thing is, how do you make someone feel? Like, that's it.
Have you seen that thing? Just before you come in, Jay, have you seen that thing where it says about love is not actually a feeling? It's like a. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's mad. It's like a quote that come up on. I seen it on Insta the other day, and it's like, love is not a feeling. It's more of like a. It's just in sync. It's just that you don't have to like think too much about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just
mean like chemistry?
Love is
easy.
No, it's not even a chemistry. But yeah, Jay, you go. I'll try and find it. Innit?
Yeah, no, I think what Danny was saying about, again, like, even if it was a case of he had a job and then he lost his job for whatever reason, that whole mentality is that's what I'm saying. The mentality is key, because certain man, are you happy to sit down and not do anything? Do you
what are you doing about it? Kind of thing.
That purpose. As long as my man has to have purpose. He can lose his job. I will understand it. I will get it. Do you understand me? We will work it out, because I know his mentality is that he is going to go on this grind. Like, do you understand me? And I'm there to support him, because I know when he's there, he's at his best, and we have the best relationship. So again, and the mentality is everything. So for me, I think it's problematic when the men don't have the right mentality. So
yeah, it's
like,
just
I
if a
don't
man
have
is
a job.
like you're saying, if he's a
Literally.
bum just sitting on his ass, not even trying,
Yes.
like shit. You
Because
know what I'm saying?
do you know what it is? Because some guys, yeah, God forbid, they get comfortable and say they have ambition, but they've been having ambition. What have you done with
Oh,
the
yeah.
ambition that you
Yeah.
have? Do you
What
understand?
steps? Mm.
And then as females, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, even with females, yeah, like, you know, some men, the reason why they feel worthless is because they need to be reassured, like, you are still the man. Just because you can't provide and do certain things doesn't mean you're not the man. You're just not in the position to do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as some females,
And that's what I'm
obviously,
saying. You gotta be that woman. If you're a good woman, that puts battery in his back sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like we were saying earlier about I think Jamila was no, sorry, Jay was saying about what was it? I can't remember now. But basically, when you're in sync with each other and you have to be, oh, you was talking about taking the bins out or something, or what were you saying? Oh, coming in with shopping or
For the
something.
shopping, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Taking the bins
sometimes
out.
you gotta scratch each other's back. You know what I'm saying? That's what a relationship is, man. Obviously, you're gonna have the main roles in your thing, but sometimes you gotta chip in it. You know what I'm saying? Chip in with a couple goals, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're saying,
100%.
Danny,
Just
you're saying love is when you take the bins out and you wear a shoes and you flatten the back of them and that. Crazy.
That's it. And sometimes, you know, when you take the bins out, it's cold, and then you be running like,
Back in the day, we used to take the shoes out. You just step on the shoes randomly and take the bins out. Yeah.
yeah, man. You have to get in quick before the cold hits you, but it's too late. It was already hit you, man. You're like, oh, shit, cold as fuck.
No,
No.
basically, Jada summarized it here perfectly. As long as he's actively trying to get himself back on his feet, I don't see why a woman should leave her man. If he's just sat on the sofa years later, then she has the right to start complaining.
Because imagine you
Basically,
left that man, yeah, and he turns out to be Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? But you
Big
know
up
what I'm
him, man,
saying?
as
He's
well.
got that potential
Big
and the
up, man.
mindset, and that you got to see the future. Like as this woman, you got to be like, raw, like he's got some mad drive, like he's gonna make it, and you have to believe in him, like he believes in him, and then everyone has to believe in each other, and then you make it together.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important. It's definitely about the trajectory and what steps you are making, you know. And it's, I can relate this.
Well, yeah.
I relate this to football as well with Ten Hag. It's the same thing.
No, I was gonna say you can relate because you're musical. When you're with people on a journey in business, it's so much sweeter when you get to the top when you've done it and you've grinded.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I've done it for nothing. So you know what I mean,
100%, and that's what makes it joyful. And I'll use the football analogy. People say, "Oh, but Manchester United won today," and why is people so negative? I need to see the little steps towards the right direction for me to feel that confidence that something's happening. If I just feel like it's fluke upon fluke, same way you could be in a relationship and it's like, what are you really doing? You say you want this, but are you actually trying? Have you built a plan? Are you trying to network? What are you trying to do to help get towards your dream? So I feel like it's definitely very important for you to see that, and vice versa as well. But obviously, like Jay mentioned earlier, in terms of society, sometimes it's also fine to kind of have someone that's the breadwinner as well. Some people like relationships like that where, you know, one person does one thing and the other person kind of just does the kind of.
So I know someone that I used to work with, right?
Balance.
Tell me what you guys think about this. I got someone I used to work with, and he's quit working now to become a full-time dad to his 2 kids. I used to work with him and his missus, right? So now his missus just goes out to work, and he's a stay-at-home dad. What do you think about that?
If it works for their relationship, why not?
Yeah,
Do you know
that's
what I
what I
mean?
was going to say.
That literally, if that dynamic is what works for them, then yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of kind of praise doesn't get done, like taken for men who do that. Do you understand me? Because looking after the kids is not an easy feat. Do you understand me? Like, it's not easy feat at all. So again, vice versa for those women who are at home looking after kids and the men who are at home, like, hats off to you. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, if it works for their dynamic in the relationship, then so be it.
Yeah, 150%. And that's what I'm saying, that this all goes back to the whole term of balance. And
I'm saying you, man. So Rhino and
page.
Leon, yeah. As a man, though, like, would you feel comfortable, like, if that was your situation? Like, would you feel good?
Do you know why? Because it goes back to the same principle of acknowledging how much women work hard and look after kids, and that it's not just easy. It's not an easy thing. So if a man can do that as well and experience that side, he's doing the same. It's the same principle. The same way we have to respect a female for being there for the kids, and while the guy goes out, it's the same way vice versa. I don't think that I get what you're trying to say as in
Danny,
as a
do you
man,
mean like
but it's parents, isn't it?
And sacrifice to then.
Huh?
Is that when the angle you took with it? Were you thinking like you park your own ambitions and then become this stay-at-home dad?
Well, there's that, and also just what it is. Like you're at home with the kids, and your wife is gone out to work and that, and you're the stay-at-home person, so you're not following the traditional rules of back in the day. How
I just do my. You're asking the wrong person, bro. I work for myself at home, so.
No, but if the woman is
but
comfortable with her man doing that, and the man is comfortable, then I don't see the problem with it.
I'm not bothered about this whole like. Obviously, look, the guy like, the guys have got to be like kind of like the leader in the relationship in a way, like not like dictator, but I'm saying like, do you know what I mean? Like we're kind of like, what's the word? I can't think of the word I'm thinking of in it. Like not even just provider, just like we're the one who's seen as like, do you know what I mean? Like steer the ship a little bit. Do you know what I mean? At times, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we take over and rare. Do you know what I mean? You can do it together, but I'm saying like, I'm not that bothered about this whole everything has to be traditional and it's because 10 people on the street live like this. I've got to live like this. I can't give a shit, to be honest with you. I just do my own individual thing that works for us. I don't care about outside influence. So
yeah.
Let me give you an example as well. Sorry, Rhino. There was some boy, he was like, oh, you girls go on like it's so hard being a single mom. You see now he's a single father and he lives that role. He's like, fuck me. Sorry, he's like, he gets it. And he can actually relate with us more because he's experienced what we actually have to go through. Where if he didn't go through that, he wouldn't have the understanding that he has now. Because he would think, oh, it's easy, we just get up, clean. Like a
Ignorance
mother,
is bliss,
so much
isn't it?
things to it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, and a lot of there's a lot of things in society that's like that, where it's people have a certain mentality, and it's just
Rhino,
because of
do you also feel like that's coming from somewhere? Like, why is that though?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna.
Always been a certain way for certain things, and then why? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Surely there's something in that is meant to maybe be like that. Maybe
I think one, it goes back to how we've grown up in society and how things have just been normalized, and two, I think it goes back to ignorance. I feel like there's people that are racist out there, but some of them are not directly racist because they believe in what it is. They're just following an upbringing or following an area that they're from. So they're ignorant to the understanding of the outside world. You know what I mean? When you now go into another area and you start seeing unity, you might think, hold on, where I come from, you don't see this. So sometimes it's the environment, it's upbringing as well. So I just feel like when guys make those kind of comments, it's easy and whatever, it's a bit mad because unless you go for it yourself, you can't judge. And it took that person to go for it, And I'm even going to do a video about like suicide and certain things because I've had certain mentalities that I've had before. And then until I went through certain things, I didn't think that I could feel a certain way. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to really talk about it one of these days as well. Like, I'm just using an example of sometimes, for example, me as a black person, there's certain things they say, oh, black people shouldn't do, or they say men don't cry and whatever. Until you put yourself in a situation where you see how it is to kind of let out your tears and whatever, then you realize it's not that deep. It's like if you didn't go for it yourself, you would have just confined to society. Like Leon said, work it out yourself. Figure out yourself. Don't think that everything society says is the right way. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Until I tried to commit suicide, I was like, I don't know how people could ever do that.
Yeah,
it's so selfish. I don't know. Until I got into that position where I didn't know what I was doing, I was in the lowest point of my life, and I got to that position that my whole thing changed. But if you told me before, watching all my brethren that went through it, all the people that did it, I was like, no, never. Like, I would never let myself get to that point. Do you get it? So it's easier said than done.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, it's mad. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I think it's like I kind of realized from like probably early in my 20s that like I kind of started to future think with life in it, and I started to think like if you don't go on your own journey, whether that's discovering your own emotions, doing what you want to do in life, finding a purpose, like Jay, that keyword was purpose. That was a good word as well to use, actually. That's a big one when you're looking at like certain life.
Everything.
Yeah, and like actually thinking about what you want to do as an individual on that walk, because you have to walk alone on your own path, innit? like at some point in it. Like, so I started to think, if you don't evolve and change, like, you know what's coming in it as a man. Do you really want to be in your 40s, 50s and still acting like when you're 18? Like, do you really like? It sounds fun and that, like, but do you really want to be up in the club looking for like 18 to 21 year olds when you're 50? Like, really? Do you know what I mean?
Don't make yourself feel young.
Yeah, because like you're going to be just like an empty guy in it. You're just going to be sat at the table, like, do you know what I mean? Single woman, just like chilling in it, like, just like, life's dead right now.
Yeah,
but like,
I
think, you have to like kind of, but it's hard to take that path. Cause it's who you surround yourself with. It's like, for example, now there's a lot of people I know that couldn't come on and talk on what you're doing right now. They just couldn't do it in it. The ego or their insecurity would not let them do it in it. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But I think it's
the interesting thing is, for me, experiences I've had and stuff, right? It's kind of like aligned with a lot of old school like societal shit. It's just falling into place. I'm not saying everything, but I'm just saying like certain things. That's why I asked you that. Do you think there's a reason why these things have always been how they've been, type thing?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because obviously everyone's got their own journey and experiences in life, but I find a lot of things where I've had to go through it, like what Leon's saying. I've gone through shit, like I've gone through experiences.
You've probably done it on your ones as well.
Yeah, but then a lot of it aligns with actually how shit has always been from a long time, type thing. Like, obviously, I don't depending on what it is in it exactly, but yeah, man. But at least I've gone through it. Like, at least what Leon's saying, you have to go through shit, and for you to have to double down to actually know, innit? Because sometimes when society says something, you don't even know, you're just following. You know what I'm saying? You can't ever follow shit. You have to go through shit. Then it might be right, it might align with society, but then it might not. So
and it's even kind of just round off that point and bring in another, that theory of just getting to like figuring out yourself. I kind of use that ideology in life, in relationships. Like, so let's say, for example, I meet a guy or a girl and then someone tells me something bad about that person, or that person does that. I always have to work it out myself. I don't just go on what someone said. I figure out myself. With a pinch of salt, I have to take my precautions, because if someone's telling you someone's dangerous and you put yourself in a situation where they could be and something happens to you, you're going to be a fool. So within reason, you kind of have to kind of work it out yourself. That fire's hot. All right, let me see. Like, let me get a temperature. All of that. You know what I mean? So if the example was a fire and there's something there and someone says it's hot, there's ways you can check it's hot without burning yourself, basically. And then at least you know for yourself it's definitely hot. I've made up my own mind.
And then at the end of the day, when you've gone through it or whatever, and then you like what Jay was saying earlier, it's like it's up to you. It's your it's what works for you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are going to be some rules that apply to most things, but then there's always going to be exceptions to rules, and then there's always going to be your own thing and what works for you. It's like when you're training, for example, or even just certain people's ability to like digest certain foods and some shit, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's different. There's some people that work better. They can lose weight better on like a high fat, high protein diet or whatever, for example. And there's certain people that need more carbs, for example. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, different tolerances. Different.
So I'm just using that to say that whatever works for you in life, innit? Like my guy, the one I used to work with, his situation works for him, and fair play to him. Don't mean I'm gonna do the same, but then fair play though. It works for you, and I hope it stays that way, and it's all good, and you have a good life. You know what I'm saying? So man, each to their own, innit?
No, 100%, man. 150%. I think that's even a good way to kind of sum up the show and stuff. Because obviously we started with
quickly, So like, obviously it's called "What Are Your Red Flags?" So what for you guys are your red flags?
In terms of like as a red flag, as like, because if it's talking specifically dating or the person, like red flags in a person or just a date.
No, dating. We're dating. Because that's the title. So what are you? So what? Let me go first. In a woman?
It ties in a bit with each other, anyway.
No, do you know what I was going to say, Leon? I was just going to say that what I've done is I've bookmarked a couple red flags that we've notified throughout the show. So that's interesting. So now we can now make it personal, like what Leon thinks, what Danny thinks, and whatever, and that's how we can round off the show. So I'm just
me, it's like being not being an individual. So it's like being influenced by stuff, like having that expectation of like, this is how I think it should go, rather than letting it flow in it. Like, do you know what I mean? That rhymes as well still.
Entitlement.
Yeah, no, but it's like coming in and it's like you're not giving it a chance to actually evolve into something or to enjoy it or something, because you've got certain
has to go a certain way.
What should be happening, like, do you know what I mean? Or like where insecurities come out. One big one for me is when you're talking about exes, like on like dates, like do you know what I mean? Like if you meet a girl for the first time, you're talking about ex, that's like, yo. Like, nah. You know what it is though? Not even in a bad way. It's just like you need more time to heal and just, do you know what I'm saying? Do your thing in it rather than. So yeah. And then I'm just somebody who's super chilled in it. So like I just can't deal, like you can't be on me too much in it. Like you can't just be like, do this.
What if it's Off-White they're talking about?
What do you mean?
Exes. What if it's Off-White they're talking about? If they're talking about exes in the conversation and it's not the context, it could be like the X on the back. You feel me?
This guy,
No, it's gonna take a while for people to catch it, but
I heard that.
Firms will love it because the firms used that in a bar one time. It's like the only X that gets me is the X on my back, something like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, because X is the not Off-White sign in it, so I was just making a joke. It didn't bang, but we moved.
When they bring it up, when you're not having that conversation, and they manage to work it in the conversation. You know what I mean? It's
do you think that comes from a place of they still have feelings for that person? Do you think there's more to it? Like,
still need healing. Most people just still need healing. It's not easy. If someone breaks your heart, as a woman, like I was speaking to my friend Asha the other day. Me and her talk quite a bit, and like we openly talk about things like this and that. Like, it's good to have friends on either side, male and female. I believe it benefits you. Trust me. Like, and we're talking about like society because we're both not conventional people in it, and like delving into conversation or saying like, there's not many women by the time they're like 30, 32, 35 that haven't had their heart broken at least once or twice, innit? So like it's hard to carry that with them and then still have the same trust and everything in a relationship. You get what I'm trying to say? So you got to be patient as a guy, and vice versa. A woman's got to be patient with the guy if he's not acting too mad in it. But yeah, and I think for me, the other thing is just like when you're controlling emotions from early in it. Like I remember when I was like years ago, like 5-6 years ago. No, way longer than that actually. Probably like 8-9 years ago. I was talking to this girl online for a while. Thought she was cool meeting her, and then all of a sudden, in her head, she's trying to tell me how she thinks I should act, and a real man would act like this, and a real man wouldn't do this. You know what I mean? So like me, I'm not a reactive person, so you're not going to get anything out of me. Like I'm not going to rise to the level of the energy you're hitting me with, and I'm just going to be like,
what did you do when she said that? When she done that?
Basically, what happened was, I used to run like a sales office, like a little pyramid scheme thing, and like I was supposed to meet her about an hour away from my city. She was from Manchester, I'm from Nottingham. I was supposed to meet in the middle, on like a certain day when she was working close to there, and I couldn't get out of the work commitments. I had to find out last minute because I was the kind of manager, so I was first in the office and last out in it. So if anything happens, I can't be the one who just leaves the whole team. I'm running the team. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? So like, then I've messaged her. I'm probably supposed to meet her about 7. Messaged her about 4 o'clock. Don't think I can make it. Something's come up, rare. Then it's like, oh, a real man would have locked it in and done this, and rare. You haven't even told me this. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, missed me with it, innit? Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that was her expectation. I think I went on Facebook a few years later and she was married, so she found that real guy, innit? I wasn't him, so it is what it is, innit? Do you know what I mean? So
interesting.
What about you, Danny?
Interesting. Yeah, Danny, what's your
in terms of like on a date itself, it's like a lot of things can annoy me, bro. Like first and foremost for me, you need to have
a lot of things.
Yeah. No, because when you think about it, like in terms of, for me, I'm all about respect in it. Just respect. Just have respect and manners. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to, I don't know, for example, if we're actually out eating somewhere, be nice to people. Be nice to the waiter. You know what I'm saying? Be nice to everyone around you. Like little things will let you know a lot about someone. Like, and their lack of respect they may have. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's little things they be saying, like little throwaway, little weird things. And I'm just like, okay, that's a bit strange. And then like what you're saying, if they're speaking of certain things, like the ex example, like you said, or another big red flag for me is just like, and this is more so just as a human thing as well, in terms of women or women on a date, however way, whatever. If the woman is just bare aggressive, like, like why are you aggressive? What'd you say? What do you say?
An example?
Just anything, like just aggressive. Like, look, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know where. I think Jamila might have gone bed now or something, innit? I don't know where she is, bro.
Technical issues.
Technical difficulties. Okay, technical difficulties. She got that 5 megabyte broadbands, man. Nah, man.
Oh, yeah, she says she's feeling unwell. She's not feeling too well.
Yeah, I see her like falling asleep and that on the thing. It's kind of late. Probably have work tomorrow. I get it. Yeah, like earlier, what was she saying earlier, right? Though, just the tone, and she's very aggressive with the whole shit. No offense, I f with Jamila, yeah, but like things like that, like if I'm on a date and the girl has this tone and she keeps, you know what I'm saying, like, and then especially if you're saying things that are like not necessarily even true type shit, like, and I'm just like, just that aggressiveness, man. Meant to be a lady. Be a lady, man.
I hear it. I hear it. I
think the masculine aggressiveness, like that. That's a turn off, blood.
Go on, Jay. What was you saying?
No, I hear that. Because, yeah, I think it's what you term to be aggression. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it is a kind of cultural misunderstanding. I know for some. But however, some females are a little bit, do you understand? You know, like you were saying about being nice to the waiter. Like, again, understand people make mistakes. So if the waiters come with the wrong food, it's not, why are you doing that though? Like, do you understand? You know, like, you don't need to stick it onto them. Like, for me, it's just too much. You just
if she said that to me, like, I kind of get it. But if she turned around and said to the waiter, like, what are you doing type shit, it's like,
you know what though, Danny? I'm not gonna lie though. I'm a bit bad in like, I'm not bad in restaurants, but I'm quite straight. If I don't like it, I'm like, nah, I don't like this. Do you know what I mean? Rare, or I'm not paying for that if they're trying it.
Nah, but you have to also take into account, man, like people's job, what they're doing is crazy, it's busy. You're serving about 100,000 different people.
Oh, but here's the thing, bro.
You got to approach it in a calm way.
I've been in restaurants bare times where they're serving everybody else and people come in later than me, and then
I get it.
Like, do you know what I mean? So.
Nah, but you still gotta be kind, because at the end of the day, like, you're in their thing, and if you're not kind, then they'll take even longer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just
but there's a certain way of putting
with your ego, man.
That's it. There's assertiveness and there's rudeness.
The way of putting,
you know what I'm saying? So it's just being assertive. Like, again, it's pulling someone. Excuse me, like, I was here first. Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, it's you don't need to have a whole breakdown, because do you understand what I'm saying? Like. But there is that kind of, again, assertiveness.
I just like women to be gentle, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just be a gentle person, man. Kind, gentle person.
She can't stick up for herself, Danny.
That doesn't mean she's not going to stick up for herself. When she needs to, yes. Like what Rhino says about context all the time. There's a time and a place for everything. Don't just constantly 24/7 be aggressive and rude and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you need to be, then I get it. Context. It's like when they say about men crying and that, you men shouldn't cry or whatever. But if your mum dies, you're gonna cry. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a time and place for everything. And then Football 360 in the comments has said a couple red flags, and that ties into it. If we're talking aside from just dating, just outside of it as well, you know, party girls. Yeah, that's a red flag for me in terms of taking someone seriously as a long-term potential, you know, wifey. If she's out partying every other day, then she can stay up in there and stay away from me. Man said too many friends. I think he means too many male friends. If she's got too many male friends, that's another red flag. I'm not saying, you know, you can't have. I'm just saying if you got too many, it's like, why? And why do you hate girls? Like, what's going on there? You know, certain girls be like, oh, but I hate girls. I don't get along with girls. Why though? Why though? What's the mentality behind that? You should be able to. Why can't you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, man, there's just a few things in terms of red flags.
Yeah. I feel like I pretty much agree with what everyone's saying. For me, I feel like red flags just in general I think I can use the same kind of ideology throughout all kinds of relationships or whatever, whether it's friendships, business, whatever. I feel like it's just lack of communication, lack of respect, certain like not having a certain mentality and whatever, and maybe even probably a lack of empathy. I feel like it's important to just be able to put yourself in other people's shoes.
That ties in with being kind and gentle as well, though.
Yeah, and obviously being courteous and.
I gotta know long term. Like for example, it's like, is she nurturing and that? Like if I have a child with this woman, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think who was I speaking to one time, and there was like, oh, the way a person treats their family can tell you, or even like for example, females in the family.
She got daddy issues.
Yeah, vice versa as well. It could be man or woman.
The men thing, innit? They always say like, look how a guy treats his mother. A lot of women.
Yeah, that's it. That term, yeah.
It's interesting how man treats his mum and if she got daddy issues.
Yeah, no,
it just shows you need both in the picture. You need a mum and a dad. You need a man and a woman.
I've got registers where they've gone into the guys invited them around the yard, and then the mums come at the door, like saying something like, "Oh, you left this and rare," and mama's just started shouting, and the person's like, "Do I even go in the yard?"
It wasn't.
You know what I mean? Nearly at the door, mama's just going off it. You know what I mean? Like,
the ones doing that.
Yeah, like I remember one of my friends, she was on about, he called his mum a bitch and rare, and then just turned around and rare and just went like,
"Excuse me, Timmy."
Yeah. No, he just called me.
You don't know cultured families can call their mum a bitch, bro. You're getting
mad,
bro.
To me, that was really mad. And then turned around and was like, "Yeah, you still coming in, yeah?" And she's like,
"Bro, imagine you called your mum a bitch, bro. Like what?"
That's crazy.
Like, no, man,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's true.
I wouldn't even get wooden spoon. It like that will be next level. That would be like, I don't even know, man.
That's instant slappage, and then that's moving towards disown and stuff.
That's kicking out the house, everything.
Big that we can't even talk. Like, even
you know them little white kids, bro. Hey, mom, fuck you, mom, you little bitch. Susie, call them by their first name and that. Like, what?
It's so funny you say that. Yeah, so just before Jay comes in, I feel like when I grew up in Tulsa, obviously I lived in a big block. I think it was like, how many houses were in there? Like probably 140 or something. And I remember a family that used to live on the first floor at the end, and I remember that all you used to hear, like, "Oh, did so-and-so go on effing go and get the milk," and then the sister saying to the brother, "F's sake," and then I'm thinking the swearing was so common within that family, and it's like, it's interesting how
my parents could swear.
Even Americans as well. There's a certain aspect of Americans that swear in front of their kids and whatever, and you see it, and it's like it's kind of normal there, as long as it's done in a certain way. Like, okay, you can swear in front of your kids, but your kid still knows not to swear. It's like it's a weird.
It was a real eye opener, man. Back in the days when I used to have like certain friends, and I go to their house, like, and I'm like, bro, man, I can really just swear.
Trust me. I remember one guy, come around my brother's brethren come around, because we have a thing where like it don't matter where I go, take my shoes off every time I go in the house. Full stop. Yeah. Doesn't matter if the parents are like, "Nah, come on, do you know what I mean? We all walk in here, mate, with the shoes on." You know what I mean?
Stank,
and then my brother's brethren come round, and walked in. My mum come back, and was like, like she's not saying nothing, she's just looking at him like, like, and that, and then my man said like, "Oh yeah, no, we do it in my house." Rare, she says, "Well, you're not in your house, are you?" Do you know what I mean? Like, boom, badded him up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, shook. Do you know what I mean? But that's basic things, man. Like, it's crazy what you see some people do, man. Literally see some people do madness.
Respect.
And I feel like I'm from a culture where if you step into my house, you kind of have to follow what we follow.
Exactly.
So, and I know there's an example, like I think Jay said one time where we've probably been in a situation where you see somebody that's maybe hasn't looked after themselves quite well, and you're going to advise them, "Raw, you know what, go and take a shower or go and do your thing like that." Irrespective of what they do in their house, if you step into like my house or a friend's house or whatever, you follow that same ethos. Like, look after yourself, be responsible for your odor and stuff like that, even though that's the person's business. So I feel like that kind of principle is the same kind of way I look at things. Like, like Leon said, "Raw, in my house, you take off your shoes." You feel me?
And all right, so Jay, what's Jay's red flags, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna just get to that so we can end up quickly.
Yeah, I'm dip anyway.
Too much.
Leon.
Yo, you know,
my bro. Big
Bye.
up, man. We're gonna close off soon anyway.
Yeah,
my red flags again probably very similar to yours. Like for me, again, it's that relationship you have with your family. I'm really close with mine. So if I hear you start calling your sister an effing this and a effing that, or your mum
It's
an effing
mad.
this, I don't understand that. I like
It's
genuinely
mad.
because my family dynamic is so different. I don't know that you would have that same kind of
Energy.
courteousness when I take you in front of my peoples. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Devil's
So
advocate, maybe
it
what if they are from a shitty family, like, and it's like, raw, like they are
That's the
actually
reality.
but
trash, like,
that's my red flag. That's my red flag.
Mm.
no, but then
Can't do it.
they might have gone through that and then know that's not how to be when it comes to others and that. They might be even better than people that actually have a
Yeah, that's what it
good
goes to what I'm
family.
saying. Sometimes you can teach
Never
people
know.
things, but it's still a red
Yeah.
flag, isn't it? Yeah,
But do
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? For me, like I
I
hear
heard
that,
that.
but I'm like, we're a bit
Because
young to
they
be
might be trying
teaching
to
each
get
other
away
the
from that. And,
foundation.
huh?
Yeah, but I know like we're a bit too old to be given those foundation things now. Like I'm like your foundation set.
No, it's not to say they
Like
don't have the foundation because what they
mm,
never got, they still know what they should have got. They
yeah.
still know what the foundation is. They just never got that. So now when they are introduced to your family or new family and that, they can be what they always wanted to be or live how they always wanted to live. That
I
when
know and I hear that, but even for that, again, it's me not speaking to I don't know. Then how do they understand my family dynamic? And
Mm.
it's so crazy because I've seen other people go to certain family dynamics and they don't understand the closeness of it.
So
Do you
then to take
understand
it
what
a
I'm
step
saying?
further, yeah, because you just reminded me
Mm.
of something else. So would you say this is a red flag? Not in like a bad way, but like it is what it is, like in terms of dating someone outside of your culture. Like, do you have to have someone in your from your culture? Because then that's an
Uh,
added layer now.
when you say in my culture,
Yeah.
like
Like
so
wherever you're from, like do they have to be
my
from the same place? Like,
no,
no.
no, no.
Okay.
It's
That's
not that. So
interesting
my
because a lot of people
background
need
is
that
yeah, no. As long as
whole
you have an
religion.
understanding, and I would have that understanding of their culture. Do you
What about
understand me?
different
So
religion though?
again, it would be based on what the expectations, because I'm happy as I am in my
So
faith.
you're open
So
to any culture, any religion, you don't care as long as you like it.
no. So my thing is, so let's just say, um, like obviously I'm from a Christian background. If
Mm.
my partner was from a Muslim background, and then he said, "Oh, but you've got to now convert," like, but I don't want to.
Mashallah.
So
Why not, man?
it's just because I don't want to. Same way I wouldn't expect him to convert to Christianity.
Mm.
It would just be you met me as I am. Like we take it as it is. So again, I wouldn't expect him to. I'd be like, oh no, if we're going to date, you now have to become a Christian. No, you don't, because you're the person that I fell for with those values that you grew up learning. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's where it
again,
gets
that
sticky for
same
some
thing.
people, man, because it's like they like someone and then down the line they then have to cut it off because they don't align with their
Yeah. And I
religion.
think that's sad because sometimes you could meet the best person, but just because your
It's
faith
happened
doesn't
to me, man.
align, yeah, because your faith doesn't align, you can't be together. And I think that's so
Yeah,
sad.
It is, man.
yeah.
But that's is what it is.
Culture, reality of that kind of culture. Yeah, man. We're gonna close it off here, man. I think we did. I don't know if Jay can remind me. I think we did something similar to that. I don't. We spoke about cultures and stuff, but I don't think we dived. I was meant to do a whole video on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
on
we haven't.
cultures
I
and
think that
stuff.
would be
Yeah,
good. Yeah, definitely. Because I
yeah.
think there is so many complexities. And I've actually got a friend who I would love for her to be on that podcast again. So
Yeah,
because I think it would with of different faiths, we get on really well. They understand me, but she's very kind of her her partner would have to be of her faith. Do you know what I'm saying?
oh,
So
yeah.
again, and I've like, but in my understanding, so originally where my parents are from, so it's predominantly a Muslim country, but Christians are there also,
They exist. Yeah,
um, mainly Muslims, but Muslims and the Christians will get married, and it's not even a thing. No one cares. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's not
okay,
a thing.
Yeah, if
So-
you're Muslim, you're allowed to date. You're allowed to marry Christian.
Yeah, so but the males are, but the females aren't. So again, like for me, I'm just like those complexities. I just find them really interesting. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, you in essence, I hear it, but in essence, again, literally, you could meet your lifelong partner, and that could literally be the deal breaker.
Again, that's how society ties into things, right? Or the added stuff in life. It's like if you actually have a connection with someone and you're attracted to each other, there's all these other obstacles though. So you have to. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place, in it. So it's up to you as a person what you're gonna do. But yeah, before you close up, Rhino, someone said to the girl, them, yeah, would you stay with a man that's broke for more than 5 years?
Yeah, that goes back to that whole point, isn't it? Like, how long is it gonna last for? Is there progress that you're making?
So what's the answer?
His mentality. Remember, we were saying about the mentality.
So 5 years,
like what you said. No, like what you said. Yeah, if my man had the same mentality as you, I know he's not going to be without a job for 5 years. Literally, impossible.
So essentially,
because do you know why? Because of his drive and my drive in supporting him to making sure. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know he wouldn't. I feel like I have an insight enough to know about kind of men and how they tick, in the sense of the men I have around my family. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it would be for me to go, you know what, actually, what can I do to help you in this journey? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how can we help sort this out?
So football 360, she wouldn't ever get in that situation where she's with someone.
Yeah. Big up football 360 as well. I missed that one as well. Yeah, listen, we're gonna close out, people. Those of you that are still here, like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Post notifications on. Big up Jay as always. That's family. Big up Danny. Big up Firms as well. He's not here. But big up Firms. Big up Jamila. And man.
Jamila.
Yeah. Get real soon, Jamila. Yeah. Get better soon, man. Make sure if you're watching this on the replay as well, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Let me know if you think that we missed out anything. Also, let me know if you feel like there's certain topics that you would like us to discuss as well. And man, I appreciate all the love and the support as always. Make sure you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. And I pray everyone has a good start to next week, a blessed, fresh week. You feel me? But it's all love. It's all blessings, man. We are out, people. Peace. Make sure you like and subscribe. Post notifications on. And as always, tell a friend to tell a friend. Out.
But that ain't my story. God won't say sorry.